Hi everyone, it's Leanna with Little Lullaby Photography, and today I'm going to talk about the new Blue Ombre Gown Toss Overlay. I'm going to start with an image that I had taken from a different session, and so we're going to work with this one and the overlay. I want to talk about a couple of things before we even get started. As with any digital backgrounds, any digital overlays, you want to make sure that you take the image that you're going to be using with the digital overlay in mind. And by that I mean I want to see this with a dark background. I would like to see the mama in a navy blue gown or another deep colored gown. You can always do a color change on the gown toss to match whatever the mama is wearing if you have the capability or the knowledge of doing that. But sticking with the lighting on this is coming from camera left, so um, it is on this side of the mama pointing in. And so if you can take your image with your light camera left as well, that is going to make the image look more realistic. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this one. You can see this was shot with my 35mm, so there is some background extension that needs to be done. I am actually going to pull in the digital overlay first prior to that. And you can see that I need to increase the size of that. So I'm going to Command T. I love my command buttons, and stretch this out. You can also use liquefy. This original gown toss was done on a pretty tiny mama, and so you can liquefy the image to make it fit your mom and what you're trying to accomplish. I do recommend that the gown stretches all the way to the bottom of the image to make it, again, look more realistic. We're going to play with this a little bit until I get it where I want it. That looks pretty close, actually. I'm going to go just a little bit further. And you can play with this as much as you want. I'm not going to be 100% specific for this because this is just a tutorial, but I want to show you what I'm going to do here with my background. I'm going to that marquee tool and I'm going to select the background, Command T again to transform, and I'm just going to drag that background out. And you can see how simple this is when you've got this overlay on the top. Almost no work at all. Command T again, and I'm going to drag that out. And I'm just pulling the rest of her gown from the original image out of this image. So you can see right along here where my background was extended. You're going to have to blend this in a little bit. And this is why I typically will use a texture overlay over the top of this when I'm done editing the image. I don't want all these digital artifacts. And when you do that much work on a solid paper background, you're going to have digital artifacts. All right, I'm already loving this. It's not going to need a whole lot more work. I do want to crop and extend this image just a little bit. And you can see as you go to crop it, it shows you how far you would need to allow the whole overlay to be in the image. I'm not so worried about the bottom as I am the sides. So I just want to extend that out a little bit. And then we'll just use our marquee tool one more time to transform that out. Okay, I'm already loving this, but I want to come in and do just a little bit of work on the overlay itself. So I'm going to highlight here and add a layer so I can work on that. If I want to erase later, I can. And I'm going to come down to, usually I'm around a 15-20%. 34% hardness, I don't want it super hard. We want this to blend in, right? And I'm just going to bring this in so it looks like it's more a part of the gown. Good. I'm liking that a lot. And I'm going to bring this up just a hair and give us a little bit of a line. Very good. And then I'm actually going to darken the image itself, or the overlay itself. And I'm going to invert this so that I can do just this area. Just want to have just, oh, let me go back. I changed my hardness. I'm going to bring that back down to around a 30. So I don't want that significant line there. Just something to blend that in. You can see how I'm dragging that down just to make it look more accurate. Okay, I'm liking this. I do want to drop down the curves on the overlay itself just a little bit. Blend in a little bit more with that background. I'm liking about right there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is at the bottom, down in here, just to make this look more legitimate. If you can picture, you know, the light being up high and shining down here, you wouldn't see too much light underneath the gown. And so I'm going to recreate that by darkening just that point of the image. Again, Command I to invert. We've got this set at 23%, so that should be about good. And I'm just going to deepen up down here. Good. And I'm going to take that even a little further. I'm loving it. Flatten and save, and I will show you the before and after. Once again, the before and after in just a few minutes. So thank you all for your purchase. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly. Again, Leanna with Little Lullaby Photography.